Hi YouTube, I'm in the garden again. Posted that video earlier this week about my pest control strategies, and this is in addition to it. So the little string, boom. Let's get this garden tour started. Squash, zucchini squash. I think these are going to be zucchini squash too. I don't really know. They have that same color on the leaves as my other ones did when they were coming up this age. Nice healthy stalks. Nice dark green stalk. Not sure if it's supposed to be that way. Oh, I found a bug. I need to look this up because I think that's a stink bug, but it's longer than the others. Huh. I've been finding these eggs. Everything. How fat that zucchini is already compared to my hand. Check all these. Don't see any bug eggs on these guys. And there's 3 zucchini on this plant. I think this guy is gonna get crowded out. Cantaloupe starting to crawl along the ground. I'm excited because nothing seems to be eating this guy. Fun experiment. The corn is so tall. Sweet corn, not so much. The Indian corn. What? So tall. Counting 3 zucchini on this plant, 1 on this plant, 3 on this one, and 2 maybes, though one's not pollinated yet. That one hasn't opened up, but this one did. It's looking pretty small, so I don't know if it got pollinated enough. Some of the corn doesn't look so hot. Not sure why that happened. Maybe I held it up too high. My pumpkins are taken off. It seems like they're growing inches and inches in every direction every time I come out here to look at them. A lot of male blooms all over it. It's not starting to set a whole lot of fruit, though I am seeing some. There's a little female bud right there. There's probably 1 female bud for every like 5 male buds. And I got a weed. 1 more zucchini. Look at that. That guy looks like it got pollinated. This plant has 1, 2, 3, 4 zucchini that have gotten pollinated, I hope. This really blows me away, the amount of damage these guys can do in so little time. Ah! Get back in there. Shoot. I lost one. Gosh dang. This is what squash bug damage looks like. I think it was the MI gardener that I heard describe squash bug damage looking like buckshot. So if that's helpful for you to identify, look for that. And it's most likely squash bug damage. It seems like it's just this one plant all the way to the side of all my beans that's got some sort of disease. And I have a hunch that it has something to do with pesticide runoff. Behind our property, there's a big field. I'm not sure what they're growing back there yet, but if it is pesticide runoff, I bet it's from over there, because our yard kind of slopes down from theirs. I'm trying to resist picking the green beans. Though I know some of them are ready, I want to wait till I have a lot. I've been noticing that a lot of my stuff has not been getting pollinated, and then it'll just turn yellow and fall off of the plants. So I've been making a point to taking like a pine needle or a piece of straw, pine needle in this case, getting a little bit of the pollen out from it with this and putting it on the female flower, or inside the female flower, just to ensure that it happens. And I figure this is probably better than a cotton swab just because it's already out here. I go into the male flower, got a tiny bit of pollen on there, and put it in the female flower. More beans. Cucumber plant hiding behind the beans. I don't see any female buds on this one yet. Not yet. This cucumber has attached itself to one of the bean plants. Not sure that's okay, but well. I don't see any female buds on this one yet. Soon, though. I've been having an issue with my tomatoes. I'm about to show you those next. Where I'll have a plant full of tomatoes, and then they all look fine from the top, and then I'll look at the bottom, and the bottom of it is all bruised and rotten. And I don't know why. So I'm kind of confused about that. If I see one with it, I'll show you what it looks like. What could be doing this? Some of my tomato plants are almost at my hips. I think the tallest one is nearing a meter. To be patient, because I know it's gonna be a really long time before I'm able to harvest any tomatoes. I planted these. These are just some more bush beans. Probably about a week ago, maybe a little bit longer. Quick look at my herb box. The sage is really bushing out. This cayenne pepper is loaded. I think right now I'm counting 2 right there. 1 smaller one. 2 smaller ones. Yeah, there's a ton on here. It's just loaded. I don't know how this thing's gonna hold all that weight, though I don't know if they're gonna get any bigger. Cool and spirally the stem is. The jalapenos are starting to develop on here too. I think I count 3 flowers that I can tell have been turning into a jalapenos. I ordered some organic fertilizer and more diatomaceous earth. So I'm gonna feed my plants and I'm gonna help protect them from pests. Has not come in the mail today. It's supposed to come in the mail, so if I get that before I post this video, I'll add it. I'll add the unboxing adventure to my video blog. I love getting packages in the mail. It's like Christmas. Let's do another quick shot of the whole thing. Ta-da! So bright. Okay. So I'm using welded wire for my trellises. I don't want to do that for the most part next year. I've noticed that when it gets really hot, I think it's burning the plants. I think it would be better to do the Florida weave, at least for the tomatoes. I don't really notice it burning the cucumber type plants. My pumpkins or my cucumbers, they seem fine. They don't seem to be being burnt by the welded wire, but I think next year I'm going to take down a good amount of the trellises and use it to fence off the garden better and put a real door in. And that way, at the end of the season, I can just let the chickens in here. They can scratch around at whatever, fertilize everything, and then I'm going to completely change the landscape of this garden. I think I'm gonna do more rows over the entire space of the garden so that there's absolutely no grass growing in here at all. I grow all the same stuff with the exception to more varieties of everything. More different kinds of squash, maybe some acorn squash, butternut. I want to grow cherry tomatoes, different colors of beans. This is just for the summer garden though. I've got a lot of seeds already planned for my fall garden, as long as I'm able to handle that with the baby, because the baby's due end of August. So that'll be, if I don't end up having time to do that, I think I'll just wait, save the seeds until next year. I think they'll probably save for another year, or at least plant them a little late and just put cold frames up. I'll keep the corn in the middle, only I want to grow it closer together and more densely packed. I'm going to try to grow twice as much corn. I'm going to have it start basically right at the border of the fence and go all the way back to the privacy fence, and have like half of the garden take up corn, or maybe at least a third of it. If my husband's watching, I think I want to make the garden bigger. I'm gonna move this fence further out. I want to grow us more food. I want to grow enough tomatoes to be able to can sauce and diced tomatoes for soups and chilies and spaghetti and lasagna. And I want to grow enough pumpkins to can a lot of pumpkins for pumpkin pie and pumpkin bread, and zucchini for zucchini bread, and just grilled zucchini because that's delicious. And I want to grow more kinds of beans, like the burgundy beans that I see that Roots and Refuge Jess is growing burgundy beans, and the yellow wax beans. I'm seeing all these other gardeners growing all this different kind of stuff, and it's just giving me this itch. I want to grow more food. It's so exciting. Even if it's just to learn and I don't grow enough to feed us throughout the year, though I think I can grow quite a bit. I don't know if this space behind me is big enough to feed us for the whole year as far as vegetables go. We'll do what I can though. Every year it's going to get a little bit better. Until next time, garden, I'll probably see you in like 5 more minutes. Also, Cristobal is supposed to be hitting, I know it's hitting Louisiana right now, I think. At least that's what the radar said. I don't think it's going to hit us that badly at all. We'll probably get some rain. So I'm not doing anything to prepare. I hilled my corn up a couple weeks ago. It seems to be doing pretty well after it too. And yeah, I think everything is pretty well protected from the privacy fence. It blocks a lot of the wind. These trees block a lot of the wind. And it's all tied up on trellises anyway, so unless something falls on it, I don't think anything's gonna happen. Bye, garden! Hello, Alfred. Can't tell if he's protective over the girls or if he thinks they're his snacks fattening up. Hey, girls! Eat your snacks. Hi! I need to come up with names for you guys now that you're starting to look a little different. Yeah. One of you is going to be Bertha for sure. How about Bertha, Bess, Brenda, Barbara, and Bobby, the smallest one. My husband built this coop and chicken run. Put it on wheels so we can move them around whenever they scratch up the ground too much. Just filling up their water. I ordered a waterer and feeder for them too. When they were really little, this was fine. This was good for a day, and now they're going through it. I gotta fill it up a couple times a day. That's okay though, not complaining. rinse it out first. I'll show you guys the water room feeder when I get it. Got a pretty good deal. I'm really crafty. I like to make things myself. And it was kind of a struggle to go through deciding to buy a waterer and feeder, because I added it all up and it's only $5 cheaper to make it myself. Alright, so what I would have needed a 3-inch hole saw, 2 5-gallon buckets with lids, the little waterer nipples, a pack of those, and at least 4, maybe 5 PVC 3-inch elbows for it, and then some sort of caulk to seal that. Altogether, that was like $40. We have Amazon Prime, so shipping would have been free, but I found this pair of waterer and feeder, each is a gallon, and it was like 49 something. That sounds a lot more worth it to me, and it's no work, so that's what I decided. As you can see, I'm no longer in the garden. Sad, but probably good because it's kind of warm out and my cheeks are all rosy and I'm tired because I'm pregnant. Pray for me, everybody. I don't have much energy anymore, but I still am really excited about the garden, so I keep praying. I hope that keeps me fueled to finish what I started. I was in the garden yesterday morning. I'm pretty sure I heard a bear on the other side of our privacy fence. Could have been a dog, but I'm going with bear because that's more dramatic and it sounded louder than a dog. So getting chickens, we've always wanted to get chickens, but with all the COVID stuff going on, we decided to get them sooner rather than wait until we were in a property that it was allowed. We didn't get a rooster or anything though, so I don't think we're gonna have a problem. And if we do, I guess we're gonna have to move. Oh well. That would really suck though, because I like my house. It's nice. Anyways, my husband's the one that knows stuff about chickens because they raised them when they were kids. I never did. But it's really not that hard. I thought it was going to be a bigger deal. I was like, I don't want to get chickens because I'm pregnant. I have to take care of a baby and take care of Jack and 2 dogs and then 5 chickens, which we actually want to get more. But whatever. Super easy. Just the hardest part is getting them back in the coop at night and closing them up because they're fast. They're getting faster. Whatever. I like having them. That's Brenda, Bertha, Bessie. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. And Bobby. Brenda, Bertha, Bessie, Bobby. There was a 5th one. Refer back to the beginning of the video. Just checked my Amazon delivery status and it says everything is out for delivery. And I'm expecting fertilizer, diatomaceous earth, corn, black oil sunflower seeds, and whole oats. So the little story behind that, I was researching good brands of chicken feed, and I was like, I wonder if I can make it, because I'm crafty. I like to make things myself. And I'm talking really quietly because there's people upstairs in my house. I don't want them to hear me awkwardly making a video. Anyway, Becky's Homestead. She's got a YouTube channel. I will link her hashtag, or maybe I'll figure out how to link people in my description. She is this cute lady who's got her own homestead and she has chickens and she has a recipe for chicken feed. She mixes it all herself. I don't think she grows the stuff, but she orders huge bags, like dog food sized bags of black oil sunflower seeds, whole oat grain, and whole corn kernels for her chickens. And then she mixes diatomaceous earth in with it to keep them dewormed, which I don't remember for sure if she does. I think she mixes that in the whole pot. I don't think that's something she gives them every once in a while. But she gives diatomaceous earth to her dogs too. You just have to make sure you get a food grade diatomaceous earth and not one that is mixed with pesticides too, because I've heard that's a thing. They mix it with pesticides, and that's not good to feed anything with. Also moved this out of the garden. This is mint. I don't know if I need to thin this out. Somehow there's grass in the mint pot. So pretty. No packages. Just my mint and my ivy. I'm in the garage, obviously. And all my stuff came. Woohoo! This is actually the next day. And yesterday, all my stuff came right as I was leaving the house, so I wasn't able to video it, but this is it. Da-da-da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packages. This is dog food, so that's not that exciting. Organic fertilizer. A friend of mine recommended this stuff. I should have brought scissors out here. Alright. This is my diatomaceous earth. It's the same brand that I had before. Corn for the chickens, I mean. Oats for the chickens. This needs its own box. Oh, this must be the waterers and feeders. I thought these were gonna be. It's a good size. We don't have that many chickens. So each one is a gallon, I believe. Later. That's what it's supposed to look like. I picked these because I wanted a way for them to have their food and water where other bugs couldn't get into it, at least not as easily, and if it rained I wouldn't have to go rush and grab their food and put it inside the food. Moving on. Probably should get a tripod eventually. Alright, this is the dog food. Black oil sunflower seeds. All right, so, oh boy. Chicken feed. As you can see, it's later in the afternoon. I just wanted to show you what I did really quick before I close out this video. I spread the diatomaceous earth over my squash and the cucumber-like plants. I forget what that scientific name is. It sounds like cucumber something. But the Grow Family Network, the guy that does those videos, he said that you really just want to focus the diatomaceous earth on the stalk. But I put it on the leaves, the underside, and the tops. Obviously you could see that, because that has been working for me also. As you can see, my plants are pretty full. I think I have 2 or 3 on this plant. Yeah, I showed you these yesterday. And then these are pellets These are my fertilizer that I'm trying out. I'm gonna water it later today. Unless it rains. It's supposed to rain later this week, but I think I will water it. This is more of a personal note for myself. So remember what stuff got the fertilizer this time around. I gave fertilizer to these peppers, a cap full, which was about 1/4 of a cup, to each of the bigger peppers, and then maybe more of 1/8 of a cup to the smaller ones. I gave a cap full of fertilizer to one cap full to each hill. Diatomaceous earth on my squash too, that's spreading out here. I think that's a cantaloupe because it's got the tendril thing to grab onto stuff and climb. This one I think is a squash though. I believe it's called the Three Sisters method of horticulture garden. You grow corn, you grow pole beans to climb up the corn, and then some form of squash to be a ground cover in the corn. And I did that sort of. Minus the pole beans. I put a squash plant in every couple rows. So we'll see if that helps. I hope it does. I gave a cap full of fertilizer to each tomato plant in the first row and the second row, but not this one because I ran out. I did not read the product description well enough, and I ended up getting pellets for the fertilizer, though I think the friend of mine that recommended the Job's Organic All-Purpose Fertilizer got a powder form, which you mix in with water and lasts a lot longer. So that's what I'm gonna get next time. Oh man. Oh well, you live and you learn. I put a little diatomaceous earth on my sunflowers too because something has been eating them. I think it was ants. I used that entire bag up that I bought. So that's going to be ordered again soon. Since yesterday morning when I shot this tour, I feel like my pumpkins have just gotten so big. I'm so excited. They're so cool. They're definitely going to take over this whole trellis, and then I think I might just let them bramble from there on. They're definitely going to be able to take up that space. They're growing in like all directions. All right, today's May 9th, the day after I did my garden tour. May 9th is the day I did the fertilizer and the diatomaceous earth for the last time. Not for the last time for the season, but just so I know when I do it again, this is how long ago I did the diatomaceous earth. It's hot. I'm going to go in. Quick shot of the belly. Thank you for watching my garden update. I enjoyed showing you all this and everything I'm learning. Organic ways to fertilize and use pest control. Huge zucchini. Look at that. Happy note for the end of the tour. Picking that guy in a couple of days.